138-pound champion. We're going to go right into action at 145 pounds. Looks like we've got Thomas Trevino of Patch High School, a senior, coming in at 28-3, and he's going to be taking on Lakenheath again, another wrestler from Lakenheath, Adam Carroll, who is the returning champion from 145 last year and has not lost yet this year. 26-0 coming in.
And this is a matchup a lot of people have been talking about. Adam Carroll, can he hold on and win it again? He's a senior this year, and last year's matchup, if you weren't able to come out to the finals, fantastic matchup. Carroll is a phenomenal wrestler and doing everything he can right now to hold off Thomas's attack with a 2-on-1 in the arm, looking to shuck Carroll off to him and take his back that way.
Trevino took second at Europeans last year, but he does come from that monster program down at Patch where he's just got great guys, great workout partners every day, great coaching staff down there, and we'll see how that works out for him against returning champion Adam Carroll.
Again, Trevino, one of 7 wrestlers Patch had qualified for the finals. Like we talked about, they are a powerhouse school defending team champions from last year, and at the rate they're going, they're holding a strong hold on this year's championship.
Collar ties, no real shots as of yet, but don't expect that to last too long. Once one of these guys tries a trip, once one of these guys thinks they have control, look for them to shoot in and grab a leg.
Right there, an attempted fireman's carry from Adam Carroll. Didn't work out, but was able to get back to his feet. Again, a great switch right there. If he can get back behind just like that, 2 points for a takedown. And straight to the mat with a nice takedown right there, a nice belly-to-back slam.
Trevino doing what he can to turn his hips back square to the mat and get his arms out to where Carroll cannot control his hands. You don't want the man on top of you to have control of your arms because it's going to make it a lot easier for him to turn you over and get back points, possibly pin.
Carroll attempting to break his opponent down again. And what he needs to do in this position, if he sits up like that, reach underneath both arms and just pull him back. If he breaks that 90-degree plane, he's going to get back points for it.
Not sure what Trevino was asking the ref there for. He was pointing down. I don't know if he thought that Carroll had his hands locked or what the deal was, but looks like it's nothing too serious. End of the first period, 2-1 in favor of Carroll from Lakenheath High School.
Carroll defers the choice going to Thomas Trevino. He's going to choose top, it seems, and that will put Adam Carroll, he's going to choose bottom. That'll put Adam Carroll on top. And Carroll did a pretty good job of controlling the action from the top. We'll see if this is a smart move strategically from him.
Yeah, we talk about a lot of people go down to get that quote-unquote cheap escape point, but I tell you, if you're underneath of a guy like Carroll who can ride you, a lot of times it's smarter to just go ahead, start on your feet, and take it from there.
Exactly. We've it didn't work out too bad for him in that round. He only is down 1 point after the first period. Now if Carroll's able to sink in a half Nelson and turn him, it may look like a bad decision on Trevino's part to start the period on the bottom.
Got his arm sucked in there, kind of lets it go. Cross-face position right now. And if you're watching at home and you say, that looks painful, it is.
It is. It's very painful. And it can go as hard as you want as long as you don't wind up back from it. As if your arm doesn't separate from your body, you can go as hard as you can in that position. And it's like Bruce Lee's 2-inch punch. It's very, very difficult, and it hurts quite a lot.
It really does. If you've never had a forearm cross the bridge of your nose, you haven't lived.
Exactly. I'm not recommending go out and try it, but it's definitely, Right there, Carroll's got a half Nelson, and what he needs to do is break his opponent more to the mat. He needs to eliminate the arms out of the equation like he's trying to do there, and until he does that, he's not going to be able to successfully employ the half Nelson.
Trevino, while he's doing a good job of not getting turned, keeping his hips to the mat, avoiding these half Nelsons, looking away, keeping his head up, not really getting to his base and really not getting out of this position at all, just letting Carroll ride him, and as long as Carroll stays active on top, throwing halves and chicken wings, they're not going to call him for stalling.
Carroll doing a great job every time Trevino gets up to a base position, breaking that arm down, using his head on the back of his opponent's head to right there, switches into a cradle. Will possibly get 2 back points for that for the time, and this could be the end of the match. This is not a position you want to be in with Carroll on top.
You see the little bitty gap in between his shoulder blade and the mat. That's all it takes to not be pinned. Once his both shoulder blades are touching, and the referee sees that, he's going to call an end to the match. That is a fall.
Carroll did a fantastic job of once Trevino switched, he switched at the same time, and that is the end of the second period. That was a tough one.
Saved by the bell.
And you can see it on Thomas's, the way he's getting up right there. He knows he lucked out right there at the end. That was a very tough situation, and the time helped him get out of that.
Looks like Carroll's going to take down for the third period. He's awful quick. Well, let's see if he doesn't hit a switch here and try and get right back on top instead of going for the escape.
Carroll leading the match 5-1 right now. Just like you called it, there's a switch, and he is reversed 2 more points, 7-1 right now. Carroll firmly in charge of this matchup for the 145-pound DoDDS European Wrestling Championship.
He seems very at home on top, and he does a really good job of keeping his hips back. When you're a leg rider and when you're on top, you don't want your hips to get too high on your opponent because it allows them the opportunity to grab your head and pull you over top, and it puts you off balance. So he's really balanced. He does a really good job riding on top of his opponent.
Carroll doing a fantastic job of breaking down that arm every time that Thomas Trevino from Patch High School goes to set up a base. He uses his head, he uses his hands, anything he can to make sure that he is flat on the mat. Fantastic job moving into a half Nelson right there as well.
What you're seeing a lot of is Carroll is riding on both hips, and if he wasn't active with his hands, if he really wasn't trying to turn the guy, you'd see the referee hold his hand up in a fist, and what that is he's warning his opponent for stalling. And if you're riding both hips and you're not doing anything, they're going to ding you for stalling. You get one warning, and then they start taking points after that.
Both men go out of the mat, and they're going to start it back over the way the period started, with Trevino on bottom and Carroll taking his top dominating position right now. Trevino attempts a switch, not as successful as Carroll has been all match. He just isn't looking for the leg quick enough. Carroll is too fast to pull the knee out the way.
There is a definite difference in the speed these two wrestlers are going. And Carroll is just lightning fast with all of his moves. He has a really good sense of where he's at, where his opponent's at, and what he needs to do to keep him there.
Trevino doing everything he possibly can, and every time he does, it seems that Carroll has an answer for him. He just needs Carroll to make a mistake, but I don't know if Carroll is going to make one today.
Looks like he ran that half again.
He's got to be careful. He's going to get rolled through. Perfect balance from Carroll right there to avoid the roll.
I talked about the hips. He knows where to keep his hips, and that if you can keep your hips on balance and square to your opponent, it's going to help you out a lot.
20 seconds in this matchup right now. We're in the third period, 15 left to go. Carroll is leading 9-1. This is the 145-pound DoDDS European High School Wrestling Championship.
I think the story of this match was the speed. I don't think Trevino ever had an answer for the speed of Carroll, and looks like that's going to do it. Adam Carroll, a returning champion, wins it again at 145 pounds over Trevino of Patch High School. Going to end the season for Carroll 27-0. Great match, lots of action, but Carroll definitely controlled that from start to finish.
And that was just a fantastic effort from Carroll. He knew what it took. He was a 145-pound champion last year. He's the 145-pound champion this year. Both wrestlers put 100% effort. It just was not enough from Trevino today. And that happens sometimes. Sometimes you just don't have it, and some days you do.
Exactly.
We're going to try to go down to our man, Sergeant Labuka, here in just a second to see if he can talk with Adam Carroll, the two-time 145-pound champion. Until that, we have the 152-pound championships coming up. Again, another Lakenheath High School wrestler in Devon Parish. But right now, let's go down to Sergeant Labuka. Sergeant Labuka, what do you got for us?
Tough match, man. I mean, that was pretty tense to the third period there. What's it like finishing your season this way, being on top in your weight class?
I don't know. It feels like every other season, you know. I win, I can finally eat. Let me think. It's in the match, though. It's always the same thing. Like when I go in there, I think like, okay, here I am, finally